I have 102 unread books on my physical TBR, and that is just way too much, you guys. I'm starting to feel overwhelmed by my physical TBR, and that's how I know it's time to start working to read those books. I'm going to vlog for a week and see how many books off of my physical TBR I can finish before the end of the week. I wanted to make it kind of fun though, so I'm gonna do a number wheel. So I'm gonna put 1 through 102 on a number wheel, spin it, and then we'll just count and see what book it lands on. The one exception is that I am going to count 3 e-arcs that I have on my Kindle that also really desperately need to be read. So technically on my physical TBR, I have about 98 books, but I'm just tacking those e-arcs onto the end because those also need to be read. I actually ended up picking my first book for this vlog before I filmed this intro, so I'm just gonna scoot on over to yesterday when I picked my first book. Hi guys, I have like 2 seconds because I have to go to the mechanic and I need to get ready here. So let's just do this really quick. I'm gonna spin the number wheel here between 1 and 102, and I'm gonna go in order of my shelves, and whichever book I land on will be the book that I'm gonna pick up first for this vlog. If I was thinking of like a perfect number for my physical TBR, I feel like it would be between like 10 and 20 books, and 20 is kind of like a little bit too much for me, like more like 10 to 15 books, because the amount that I have on my physical TBR right now is just way too much. So it's gonna take a while to get that number down, but 61. I think it's going to be, ooh, blown out, sorry. I think it's going to be on this shelf because I think like the first 70 or so are on this shelf. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61. Water for Elephants, guys, by Sarah Gruen. I've had this on my TBR for an extremely long time, like since I started reading like 2 years ago. This is one of my absolute favorite movies of all time, so I'm very excited that I got to pick this one up. I've been putting it off because I feel like there's been other things that I've been more excited about, but I just know I'm gonna love this with all my heart. So this is gonna be the first book. Welcome back. In this, we're following Jacob. We're in the 1930s, I think. 1930s America. We're following Jacob, and he's just about to graduate Cornell as a vet, but right before his exam, his parents pass away, and he's going through a lot of grief, and he goes to take his final exam to become a vet, and he just can't do it. And he walks out of the school, walks down the train tracks, and then hours later he hops on a train, and the train ends up being a circus train. And so he gets caught up in all of the circus shenanigans and ends up getting a job at the circus as a vet. I am just about halfway through, and I'm really liking this one, you guys. I already knew I would like it because this is one of my favorite movies of all time, and obviously the book is even better. There's more detail. There are things that the movie left out, and I'm just really enjoying my experience. I was at the mechanic for 3 hours yesterday, so I was able to get a lot of reading done. But I really would love to keep up with that pace because I want to get through at least 3 books in a week, which is kind of a lot for me, but I just really want to get my physical TBR down, and that's what the point of this video is. So I would love it if I could have this book done by tomorrow. But yeah, I'm really loving it. It's very, at some parts it's a little bit hard. Big trigger, there is animal abuse in this book. So that's very difficult for me to read, but it's such a good story. It's giving like the same vibes as the movie, obviously. Every chapter has these little pictures, these old pictures of circuses. It's really cool. I am also doing audiobook as well to try and get through these faster so I can do like audiobook during chores or car rides or anything like that. So that's where I'm at. It's Friday and I have finished Water for Elephants, and you guys, I love this just as much as the movie. I loved it so much that as of right now, it's sitting at a 5 stars. I loved the back and forth timelines of this with our main character as an older guy and then when he was younger and in the circus and going back and forth. I loved that. I loved that there's like pictures in here at every chapter. I think that's so fun. This, I don't know if I gave this 5 stars because the movie to me is like so nostalgic and like one of my all-time favorites, but this is genuinely really good. It's super fast paced. There's always a lot going on. The pacing is just really good. Sometimes I feel like historical fictions can be a little bit dragged out, but this was definitely not, in my opinion. I tend to change my ratings for my books every once in a while, so right now this is a 5 stars, but we'll see in a couple weeks if I feel like changing it. I read that book so fast, you guys. I'm so excited to pick our next one. So it was at 102 and now we're down to 101. Let's do 1 to 101. 73. All right. Because my last book was the last one on this shelf and it was 61, I know that there's 60 on this shelf, so we'll move down to, first we have my monthly TBR, so 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73. Guys, I guess we're starting Scythe. Just another series I have to add to my very long list of series that I'm in the middle of. I'm gonna pick up Scythe, you guys. I've been trying not to start series until I'm finished with the series that I'm in the middle of, but I really have done a good job getting down that number, so I guess I can start a new series. I've heard amazing things about this. If you guys don't know what this is about, it's a dystopian, I believe it's YA, and basically nobody can die because we have like figured out hunger, there's no disease, no war, no misery. Humanity has conquered all of those things, so there are people called scythes who actually have to go around and people for population control, and I believe we are following one of those people. I really have heard such good things about this one, so let's dive in. Chapter 15 of Scythe, not quite halfway through, almost there, and not gonna lie, it's a little bit slow for me actually. I don't feel very connected with the characters, and I feel like at a few points it was almost like contradicting itself. For example, it was saying like everyone was like equal and like there was no poverty anymore or anything like that, and then like later on they were talking about the rich people and like the scythes that were being biased. Gleaning is what they call it, like basically gleaning like only rich people, and I was just like, wait, what? And then there was another time that was like contradictory too, and I was like, wait, I don't know, I kind of feel like it's a little bit disjointed, which is kind of weird. Like I know this is like such a popular book, I'm not judging it yet. It's slow in terms of like I'm a little bit bored. As far as like the story goes, I feel like it's almost going like a little bit too fast paced. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not hating it by any means. Definitely gonna keep going, not on like DNF level or anything like that. It just got to a really intriguing part, so I'm really hoping that from here it will pick up. It is Saturday. I have 6 days to complete this one, and then I really want to pick up another one because I want to do 3 books in this vlog. So I've been really trying to make time to sit down and read, so I am gonna do a little bit more of that right now. Okay guys, okay. It's getting good. It's getting good. I ended up actually really enjoying this one. It was definitely a slow start. I feel like close to the middle it started to pick up a little bit more. I don't know why, but the beginning I just felt really disconnected from the characters and I just couldn't get into it, and it might be because that Water for Elephants was a 5-star read. It might have been like a little bit of a reading slump happening, just a little bit. But once it started picking up, I definitely became more attached to the characters and I was intrigued about what was going on and what was going to happen. There was a bunch of like little mini plot twists kind of thrown in here, which I really enjoyed. Just kind of kept me on my toes. I'm actually really excited to pick up the second book in this series. I've heard that the second book is even better than this one. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens. We ended on a cliffhanger, so even more so I want to pick up the next book. I'm going to see if my library has the next book and maybe read it in June. I think this is going to sit around a 4 stars because the from the middle to the end really impressed me, but the beginning just was very slow for me, so I don't think I could rate it any more than that, but I don't think I could rate it lower than 4 stars because the end was very good and explosive. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one, guys. We're picking up some good books in this vlog. For our next book, I actually ended up spinning the wheel a couple days ago and picking it out because I wanted to try and find a book that I could find on audio. I would have just done Scythe on audio and gone back and forth, which is what I normally do, but I couldn't find Scythe anywhere. For my audiobooks, I mostly just use Libby, Hoopla, and my Spotify hours, and it wasn't on Spotify, Hoopla, or Libby. Like, it didn't even show up on Libby or Hoopla at all. So I decided to spin the wheel and see if I got a book that I could find on Libby so that like when I was doing chores and stuff, I could listen to my book because that's what I like to do. So I'm just gonna skip back a couple days and show you guys what the number wheel picked out. I am not done with Scythe yet, but I like to have an audiobook on the go and a physical book on the go, and I'm about to clean my whole house before my kids go to bed, so I want to roll again for our next book even though I'm not done with Scythe, just to see if I can get the audiobook for it and start it a little bit early. So we now have 100 books on my TBR, which is so wild still. 34. All right, let's look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 3, 34. An Anonymous Girl by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. This has been on my TBR for a long time, guys. I'm gonna see if Libby has this audiobook. Welcome back. As you saw, the number wheel picked An Anonymous Girl by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. I almost said Greer Pekkanen and Sarah Hendricks. So this is a thriller. We're following Jessica, who's a struggling freelance makeup artist. She does these clients' makeup one day. So when she goes to do these clients' makeup, one of them is talking about this study that she was going to participate in, but she is going back and forth whether she wants to do it or not. And she ends up deciding that she's not going to do it. So Jessica actually goes behind her client's back and takes her spot in the study, and she does this because it's paying $500 and she really needs the money because she's struggling financially. She has a special needs sister that she's helping to take care of. So she goes to this study and basically they put her in this room with just a computer, and the computer is essentially just asking her these questions. But with every single question, they start to get more and more like invasive and just kind of asking like more in depth about her life. And we're slowly seeing Jessica kind of become obsessed with Dr. Shields, who is the person that is testing her. I haven't really gotten to this part yet, but it does say that Jess's paranoia grows and it becomes clear that she can no longer trust what in her life is real and what is one of Dr. Shields' manipulative experiments. I am on chapter, I think, 21. Yes, I already hit part 2, a little less than a third of the way through, and I don't know if it's because I'm listening to it on audio or if it's just the book, but I am a little bit confused. The main character, Jessica, is becoming like weirdly obsessed with Dr. Shields. It's almost like she's like addicted to like talking about her feelings and answering these questions and stuff, but I'm just like wondering why, I guess. Like Dr. Shields has like such a grasp on her, and I'm not really picking up why she has such a grasp on her. It might be because she's being paid for like every session that they do, but it kind of seems like Jess is becoming obsessed with Dr. Shields, like the person. So it's just kind of interesting because I can't really figure out like why she is so obsessed, I guess. It is mysterious. I will say though that I'm not super intrigued about it. I don't know. For me, thrillers can be very hit or miss. I think for me, when I pick up a thriller, it needs to be very fast-paced. But I'm only a third of the way through, like I said, so there's a lot of room for things to start happening. It is intriguing. I'm just not fully in it yet, and maybe I'm having the same problem that I did with Scythe, where like at the end of Scythe it was really good and I was just so excited to see what was going to happen next, and now maybe I'm just like a tad slumpy because I'm like, Scythe was so good, and now this book I'm like, So yeah, it could be that. I have 2 days to finish this book. I think I can do it, especially if I'm going back and forth between the book and the audio. I do want to do as much physical reading as possible though with this one, because I don't know if the audiobook is like what is kind of like distorting my thoughts on this, or if it's like the actual book. I just realized this is so random, but I was just doing my thumbnail pictures and all of the books are red. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So I know I literally 2 seconds ago just said that I need to actually physically read the book, but I need to clean my house desperately before my toddler gets home. I've just been slacking the past couple days. I've been so tired, so I've just kind of been letting the house go. So I really need to get that done. So I think I am going to pop on the audio, maybe slow it down a little bit and really pay close attention. Now I'm also like, I have to film some TikToks. It's so hard to juggle life as an ADHD person. I'm a little over halfway through An Anonymous Girl, and I will say it is picking up, you guys. It really is picking up. I was confused at first, but things are kind of starting to come to light. It's interesting because our main character was like obsessed with Dr. Shields at first, but now it's like the opposite, where like the main character is actually kind of scared of Dr. Shields now, and Dr. Shields is obsessed with Jessica. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic, and I'm actually enjoying it. I did have a theory that did come true, but as of right now, I don't think I have any theories about like plot twists or anything. There was like kind of like a small plot twist, and that's what I guessed. I have been going back and forth between audio and physical reading. Today is Thursday, so it's officially been a week since I started this video, and this video is actually coming out tomorrow on YouTube. I don't usually cut it that close with my videos. Usually they are pre-filmed, but I'm actually doing this video in place of a TBR video for June because the past few months I just cannot keep up with a monthly TBR, so I'm just not not even gonna make one for June, and I'm just gonna mood read through June because it's stressing me out to have a TBR. But anyways, I'm liking it, guys. I'm predicting this will be a 3.5. I don't know. Thrillers need to be like so twisty and turny and like shocking for me to really enjoy them, because I don't feel like the point of a thriller is to become like attached to the characters. I feel like it's just about like getting your heart racing and like having thrills, you know? So when a thriller is slow, it's kind of hard for me to get into. Like I said, it is picking up. I have to finish this today. I have to read / listen to like 180 pages to be able to finish this on time. There's no way I am going to end this vlog before I finish this book. So one way or another, this book is getting finished before this video comes out. One thing that I didn't mention that is irritating me is Dr. Shields feels like a robot. It kind of makes sense for like her character arc, I guess, but the way that she speaks frustrates me. It's just very like robotic. I finished it last night, guys. This was very like cat and mouse, like back and forth, and there was kind of like so much going on that you couldn't tell like what was going to be the final ending. At some points I did feel like that was a little bit confusing, but then at other points I feel like it made it suspenseful. I don't think it was one that like blew me out of the water by any means, but I think my rating for this will probably be around a 3.5 because it wasn't bad by any means, but it wasn't like over the top super good. I would definitely recommend it, especially if you like kind of like domestic thrillers where there's like domestic drama happening. So that is it, guys. We read Water for Elephants, which I gave a 5 stars, and it's been a week since I read this and I'm still sitting at a 5 stars with this and I don't feel like it's gonna change. Then we read Scythe and I ended up giving this a 4 stars, and I think I still stick with that. Like I said before, the beginning was a little bit slow, but then it like packed a punch at the end. And Anonymous Girl, which for now is gonna sit at a 3.5, and I don't think I'm gonna change that either. Let me know if you guys have read any of these before. What are your thoughts? Are they on your TBR if you haven't read them? And as always, let me know what you are reading right now. But until next week, bye!